After a 7-year absence, the magic of the Hahn Australia Cup returns to Maitland. And it's a warm welcome back to local side Maitland FC, one of the established powers of northern New South Wales, making their national round return for the first time since 2019. It was the glitz and glamour of A-League opposition that they welcomed on their maiden voyage. A 2-0 defeat to the Central Coast Mariners ensued, but tonight presents a golden opportunity for an inaugural national round win. It's the window of opportunity that beckons equally for their opponents, the Cup newcomers Fremantle City, who make the 3,900-kilometre journey east for their round of 32 debut. They are something of a rising star in West Australian football, currently sitting fourth in just their third season of NPL competition, having been founded in 2015. 11 years later, they are daring to dream of making what would be one of the biggest nights in Fremantle's fledgling history a reality. They are not just playing for the pride of the club either, but for the entire state. The Australia Cup results elsewhere mean that Freo are WA's last remaining national round representative, and they are hoping to secure what would be just a third win for an NPL WA side in the national rounds since 2017. It is a genuine could go either way, could go anywhere tie that awaits us in north of New South Wales, and it is exactly the kind of fixture that the Australia Cup is all about. Special nights brewing in the north of New South Wales. Maitland back in the big time. And their fans and contingent of young active supporters have turned up as well for the party. Well, key to Maitland's recent resurgence has been their mid-season arrivals, Englishman Cameron Jessup, the former Sunderland youth player, and Fijian international Scott Warra lead a defence that's conceded just once since their signing. They provide the foundation for the headline act up top. Goal scorer extraordinaire Braden Crowley, 15 goals this season, 108 in his last 5 league seasons, a 3-time Northern New South Wales Player of the Season and a 4-time Golden Boot winner. Fremantle City's inaugural Australia Cup 11 is headlined by a 289-game A-League veteran in Josh Risdon, currently playing a new position of midfield since his arrival from Perth Glory, and his former Glory teammate Riley Woodcock is in defence. Chad Nielsen is the top scorer, but the star of the show is the Englishman Charlie Chetzlatz, the reigning NPL WA Player of the Season. 5 goals, 5 assists this year, along with an incredible goal from the halfway line to help send City to the national stage for the first time. Former Adelaide United and Perth Glory player Adam Hughes' sophomore season has gotten better as it's gone on. They arrive in the round of 32 riding the crest of a 7-game winning wave with just 2 goals conceded in that entire stretch. Now looking red hots at the pointy end of the season, the 2022 Northern New South Wales Premiers. And Scott Miller makes his national round return for the first time since 2016, having made the round of 32 with Coburn City. Been quite the journey in his first 2 seasons in charge. They were rescued from relegation via the playoffs last year, but now Freo are right in the hunt for the finals this time around. 2 clubs stepping into the national rounds. Freo for the first time, Maitland making their return. It's quite a special occasion that awaits, and it'll be presided over by New South Wales referee Charlie Hollings, who's made the journey north this evening. Aranath Gobinath and Isaac Riggs, his assistants, and the experienced Jake Rose is the 4th official. And we are underway at Maitland Sports Ground. It's a welcome back for Maitland FC and a welcome to the Hahn Australia Cup for Fremantle City. And of course, a warm welcome to you wherever you choose to be tuning in from. Whether you're setting yourself for late evening football or the sunset show out in the west, 5:30 kickoff for those Freo City supporters watching at home. It is great to have your company. A chance for a first ever national round win beckons for both of these sides who come into the cup in seriously rich form. I mentioned Maitland's 7-game winning run in recent times. Fremantle City also come to the cup, 7 games unbeaten across league and cup. Brilliant win against Perth Red Star at the weekend. They became the first team to score more than 2 goals. Red Star's home ground, they did better than that, scored 3. So 2 teams who really could not be playing better football in the lead up to an occasion such as this. With Cochrane back to the Fijian-born Englishman in Scott Warra, 5-time representative of the Fijian international team. It's a fired switch from Cochrane, giving one for Tay Power to chase, and a task too tall for Tay that time around. One to watch out for on the flanks this evening for Maitland. Reliably informed by the club that he has got pace to burn down those flanks, one of the fleetest of foot in northern New South Wales NPL. Two sides from the opposite ends of Australia, but there are disparate connections across the 2 teams. Mentioned Adam Hughes' stint with Perth Glory. He was a former teammate, 15-time teammate of Fremantle City's new marquee man, Josh Risdon. The only coach who's played for Perth once upon a time, of course, Scott Miller, 200-plus game legend of Perth in the NSL years. And there's Braden Crowley on the ball for Maitland. We'll see that as a facet of his game. As many goals as he does score, he does like to drop deep to help build the possession, drag players out of position. A tally of 15 for the season is from a Maitland total of 34 all year, so quite remarkably, he's scored 44% of all their goals this year in the league. And a couple in the cup to send them to the national rounds against Kahaiba. Comfortable 4-0 win qualified Maitland to return to the round of 32. This is a chance for Fremantle City to settle into a spell of possession. The opening couple of minutes have seen them fractionally on the back foot. Here is Riley Woodcock, with a handful of former A-League players that Scott Miller has the courtesy of calling on. Crowley sliding himself into deep midfield. Just share a former club, Adam Hughes and Scott Miller. They share a mutual appreciation for the way one another's sides play their football. It's an enterprising ball over the top, looking for the danger man, Braden Crowley. to Daniel McFarlane. Fremantle City's defence holding firm in the way of the passing patterns from the Magpies so far. Cochrane. It's the Magpies junior talents in Angus Muddle. To keep your eyes on this evening. Warra. Short of the Fijians' best pass. Nearly picked off by a player you don't want to turn possession over to in Chad Nielsen. 9 goals in the league for the 27-year-old this season. 11 in all comps, so a couple in the cup. Really clever pass to pick out Muddle. Maitland couldn't quite get on the move. A couple of questions of use of a hand there. Charlie Hollings unmoved as that's long-range efforts from Lockie Roos. This brings the home support into fine voice, and just saw the flustered expression on the face of Luke Radonich. Let me tell you, for those who have not seen him before, Lockie Roos recently arrived at Maitland this season from Caroline Springs George Cross in Victoria. Has well and truly got that in the locker. I was literally there when he scored a goal from even further out than that, lobbing the keeper this time a year ago. All read by Riley Woodcock. And Steele put under pressure by Maitland attack. Is this a glorious opportunity for these two teams to get their first win? This might be a glorious opportunity for Fremantle City to get their first goal. Both are looking to do that tonight. Woodcock inside for Risdon. The touch just showed too much to the cool midfield head of Daniel McFarlane. Actually caught up with a man who has given no shortage of his talents to Northern New South Wales football, both at the A-League level and state level, in Roy O'Donovan yesterday, and he did say that Daniel McFarlane is a talented player to keep in mind tonight. Muddle lifting it over the top. Tape Power will be thwarted by the raised flag of Aranath Gobinath. It was the passing quality of the former Jets youngster in Angus Muddle on full display. He's pulling the strings at the weekend. Maitland emerged victorious with a 1-0 win away to the Lambton Jaffers, courtesy of, you guessed it, Braden Crowley. Risdon has picked up possession for the visitors. Shub McCullough. He's got the capacity to cut inside and shoot. But he's held up this time nicely. McCullough. Showing where to head. The ball in is a good one. Tipped away by Taylor Pate. The Maitland keeper called into action. Shefslats. Challenge well ridden by John Chalmers. Risdon. Hopeful clip. Ambrosio giving chase, but it's past the reach of the NPL WA veteran, who is not a stranger at all to the national stage, Nicholas Ambrosio. 5th time on the national stage tonight. Flurried Athena. There's no whistle has come there. Plays continued. Braden Crowley twisting and turning and laying it off. Angus Muddle. Well, got his feet in a bit of a muddle, not the desired contact whatsoever. did say that Maitland FC play the kind of football that he wants to watch as a fan. He doesn't want them to play it too well this evening, but we're seeing a really enterprising intent to pass the ball around from these two sides. Well won by Cochrane once and then twice. Stuck to keep it alive to James Thompson. On back by Chad Nielsen. Chechlats. Call of the switch. And distributes to Riley Woodcock. Clever pass for Chechlats, who's happy to just play the ball back, keep the ball ticking along. Shubmakala. Another ping to the opposite side. With his swiftness of feet, Riley Woodcock. His pass let him down there. Chad Nielsen has stolen in and cuts the ball square. But it's well defended by the Englishman Cameron Jessup. Fremantle keeping the pressure up. Chechlats. Blocked en route. And now Braden Crowley streams away. Not too many numbers further afield, so laterally he heads for Cochrane. Cochrane did get a taste of the national stage last year in the Australian Championship, where he was playing for Broadmeadow Magic. A team who have grown so accustomed to being part of the national stage. The earlier years especially, it was the northern New South Wales slots were utterly dominated by Broadmeadow and Edgeworth. Maitland are back this year. Western Bears have gone back-to-back. Got their first home tie on Sunday against Melbourne City. Of course, Cookshill United made headlines on their debut last year against Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Their win for northern New South Wales. An enterprising run. It's cut out by Ben Steele. A corner coming for the home side that has sparked their home support into a bit of life. Another great run from a player who is proving an early handful in Tay Power. We've already seen glimpses of Muddle's quality. What can he do from a set-piece situation? The numbers spread, and Fremantle have the answer. A bad effort from Daniel McFarlane. Trying to replicate his heroics from the qualification game when he scored against Kahaiba.
Good position, hold. Got his shoulder. Yeah. Chad, just watch your right. Just block it, hold.
Scott Warra.
Got his right shoulder. Right shoulder, look at this. Where the fuck is going here?
Just to Cameron Jessup. Really interesting signing. It's Cameron Jessup. Alan Hughes was really given the license to go big in the mid-season window. It's launched over the top for Tay Power. And the ball kept in his spell. The afterburners in full effect. McFarlane. Clever pass between the lines, and Power can't quite bring the most out of his efforts. What a stunning effort this is from the Maitland Juniors. The Magpies on tour. Great to see a contingent of young but raucous, active fans in the house at Maitland Sports Ground. You can hear their drum banging from down the road as they made their march up here to it's a really great venue in northern New South Wales. Not Maitland's traditional home of Cook Square Park, just 3.5 kilometres east of here. But home for tonight. Chetslats looking for a combination of Chad Nielsen and Riley Woodcock. Found neither. Freo to content themselves with a throw. Nilsson laying it down. Chetslats nearly left the ball behind. Had the wherewithal to find Woodcock. Another clever turn from Chetslats. Risdon thought about it. Distributes wide instead to teenager Isaiah Wingell. Great story. Young Isaiah Wingell. Still only 17 years of age, I understand. Son of Scott Miller's assistant coach, Dale Wingell. Former NSL player for Perth Glory, a teammate of Scott Miller, along with Dale's brother, Mark. We'll judge that by Luke Radonic. Not only did they play together at Perth Glory, they played together at one of the most unique clubs you'll ever see, the Perth Kangaroos. Played in the Singaporean Premier League and won it undefeated in 1994. So it is an over 30-year connection in the coaching ranks for Fremantle City tonight. That is not made up, it did actually happen. You can go look at it on Wikipedia if you don't believe me. Entertaining pass first fair so far in the round of 32. Neither keeper really called into action, both sides looking to change that. Risdon. McCalla. Ambrosio was looking for Nielsen. Couldn't find him. Chalmers gave it to Woodcock. Nielsen with a clever turn. And the shot from range is watched all the way by Taylor Pates. Handy drive from the teenager. Isaiah Wingell does have 2 goals this season, including his first at senior level back in April against Stirling Macedonia. WA's representatives in the Cup last year. Well read by George Fester. Cochrane, quality. Muddle. Darts the eyes, it's a clever leave. Muddle with the bender into the box, that's headed away cleverly by Isaiah Wingell. Chetslats, that's smart. Better than smart, it's top class. That's why he has taken NPLWA by storm with stuff like that. Risdon comes in to try and bail out his former Perth Glory teammate, and he's done so. And he's on the march, Josh Risdon. Oh, and couldn't quite play it off to Ambrosio. It's the scuffle that Maitland wanted a free kick for. Quality of Josh Risdon. That's the class Perth's all-time A-League appearance maker brings. Scotsman John Chalmers. Lifts it up carelessly. Well won back by Chalmers, brilliantly so. To the run of McCullough, ran out of ideas and real estate. Crowley. To McFarlane. Zipping ball along the surface for Lockie Roos. Finds what he wanted that time around. Started for Hotter. A crop of Fremantle control is starting to come in this game. They go looking for Nielsen and find him. He's gotten his round one. Chad Nielsen, it flashes across the face. Needed a touch, didn't get one. And now Maitland's come the other way. It's a bustling run from Power. Shifted across. Blazed away. Cochrane hasn't scored since making the switch to Maitland. 470 days since his last goal. Back with Broadmeadow. It's a little longer than that. The 13th of July, 2024. McCullough. Look at Johnny. Yes, Johnny, better. Woodcock. Picked up by James Thompson. The favourite sons of Maitland FC. Crowley with the clipper for McFarlane. Muddle. Right, receiving the ball in the way in which he wanted. Bit of a promotion specialist in his time in Victoria, Lockie Roos. The historic Caroline Springs George crossed back up to the NPL last season. And the Preston Lions, his old club, back into the NPL system when they were in State League 1, the 4th tier of Victoria. Look where they are now, knocking out the Australia Cup winners from last year in Newcastle. Cochrane barged over, and after a brief moment of consideration, Charlie Hollings does whistle for a set piece in favour of the hosts. Josh Risdon not able to muster too many complaints over it either. He did rather barge over with Cochrane. He's played in the Australia Cup in Newcastle before against NPL opposition, Josh Risdon. Western United knocked Edgeworth out to the tune of 4-0 in 2023. He's got some defending to do here. A nice whip delivery. Fremantle heads first two. Chalmers helps it on, not far enough away though. Power battling hard, but not able to make a meaningful opportunity of it yet. A launch into the box, Warra rises. And Roos was caught betwixt and between, turning it towards a teammate or something spectacular. Now they're a counter-attack. Could be on for Fremantle City. And the lightning feet of Shub McCullough. Well defended. Really well defended by Cochrane. Get up. 25 minutes of football. Has not brought many major chances here at Maitland Sports Ground, but it's brought plenty of entertaining fare despite that. Two sides who are certainly playing with the confidence of teams that are 7 games unbeaten. And playing positively and proactively and with a real desire for possession that you admittedly don't always see from NPL sides in the Australia Cup. The fact that both sides have had their spell is a suggestion of just how evenly matched these two are.
Riz, come in left shoulder. Chad, hold. Left, left, left. Yes, Riz. Yes, Riz.
Regan Lundy
Now, Rob. Right, Chad.
at the club this season after a one-season return to his former club, Charlestown Azzurri.
Chad, hold. Hold.
Farland hunting Crowley, really well blocked. And intelligently passed wide by Farland. Warra. In addition to being a Fijian international, played for Fiji's fledgling professional club, Buller FC in the OFC Pro League. Chalmers flew in there once and then twice. Hearty commitment from the Scotsman, and Fester has rather over-egged the pudding there.
Press.
Farland back to Taylor Pates, who's had too much to do since claiming that stinging effort from Isaiah Wingell. Makala looking to put his marker under the cosh, and the pressure does indeed pay. It's another four-game feast in the Australia Cup tonight. 3 of the 4 underway. Sydney United taking on the Central Coast Mariners. Tigers FC welcoming Western Sydney Wanderers to the capital. Still waiting for our first goal. Can we get it before Uni Azzurri from the Northern Territory kick off with MacArthur FC? Hooked in the bud nicely, that by Lockie Roos. Chetslats. Been as central a figure in recent minutes. Nilsson. Risden has been given plenty of room to roam. You don't want to do that because that is what he can do, but Warra has the wall in the way. Ben Steele, like Josh Risden, is a Bunbury boy, share the same junior club. Makala gets on the move, but nothing doing for him. Really fast footwork from Regan Lundy. And there's the advent of Tay Power, providing his threat down the left. Just asking a bit too much of Angus Muddle. Much to the disappointment of Adam Hughes. Sure, in the grand scheme of things, though, he'll be pretty pleased with how his side have taken to their national round return. The ship has been fairly tight in recent times at the back, particularly since Mrs. Warra and Jessup have come in. So it has proved thus far. Will that be about to change? Makala is brilliantly defended by Tay Power, who's turning heads at Maitland Sports Ground. Putting in a really impressive performance thus far, the 22-year-old, who, like Angus Muddle and a few more you'll see tonight, is another one who's come through the Newcastle Jets youth system. Muddle. Crowley His influence has been mostly limited to these sort of situations. Falling further downfield to shift the structure. Power. Thompson, really an ingenious flick. And Radonic was alert and aware. Oh, that was hot and heavy from the Maitland man. They call James the Jet Thompson. Have an opportunity to get himself involved, but he had the head down trying to run forward, and McFarlane wanted to play into feet. Steele. Risdon. A bit betwixt and between the options in attack of Ambrosio and Shubmakala. Makala, who is one of a number of players, along with Chad Nielsen, Michael Domfe on the bench, who are formerly of Inglewood United. They made the Australia Cup in 2023 with those players involved. Hoping tonight provides happier memories for them. They were thumped 5-0 by the Northeast Metro Stars of South Australia. Challenge ridden by Cameron Jessup. Pass wasn't half bad either for McFarlane. Thompson couldn't find the option of Tay Power on the lefts. Poorly marshalled by Ben Steele. Nerves of them. McFarlane had time to pick his pass and laced out Cochrane. Plays it flat. Regan Lundy takes a touch. Freo getting their bodies in the way. Jessup. Cool and calm in the face of the run of Ambrosio. Bruce rather undid all of his previous hard work. Chalmers. That's fine. Chad Nielsen. Hold up in the corner and not getting up early enough to fool Cameron Jessup. Signed from Brightling C in the Isthmian League, the 7th tier of English non-league football in that mid-season window. Mentioned that he was a former Sunderland youth player. Doesn't do it quite justice. He signed a professional scholarship contract with them. Played in the Premier League 2, the youth league of the English top tier, in addition to stints at Crystal Palace, along with Leicester City. Quite the find from Adam Hughes. Pumped away by Lockie Roos, who just stepped into a central area. Risdon out of real estate over on the opposite side. You'll be able to hear the calls through the effects mic of Cheese. It's the nickname of Nicholas Ambrosio. I believe he's called the Cheese Man. As to the exact reason, I'm not entirely clear, but when I find out, you'll be the first to know. Woodcock. to play the passing pattern with Charlie Chechlats. He was thwarted in his effort to do so by Regan Lundy. Pretty open and shut case. As the referee Charlie Hollings is concerned. Got a good set piece technician in Chechlats. And he's left it short there. Woodcock takes the open space. Headed away by Wara. Woodcock in again. And again. And we'll get a free kick again. Much to the disappointment of the Maitland FC bench. Umpires not quite agreeing that this was worthy of another free kick. May or may not have seen it out of play, but we've just had a momentary stoppage there for George Fester, whose boot broke. The studs separated themselves from the actual shoe. So, quick replacement boot on the sideline. You do not see that too often. And he's on to attack. Chechlats' set piece, which is quite a ways short of the heights of which the Englishman is capable.
Listen, Nicky, info behind.
7.5 minutes to go in the first half of this round of 32 tie. That's, as one might have predicted in the lead-up, looks as up for grabs for either of these teams to secure goal number one on the national stage and win number one on the national stage. There's opportunities for the likes of WA and Northern New South Wales to get to national round win. It's the side they can really take it to, few and far between. Western Australia, NPL entrance of not just 3 times. The Australia Cup national round, Kingsway with 2 of those in the last couple of years, including against Melbourne Victory. But before their arrival, let's go back to 2017 when Sorrento saw off Canberra Olympic. So WA side has never, NPL side I should stress, not including Perth Glory. Not that it would make much difference, they were bounced in the round of 32 last night. It's not one away in the cup ever. Fremantle City could be the first.
Now we got 2v1, Chaz.
Chalmers, Chechlats, Chad Nielsen. Used the body really well. Chechlats returned the football to him inventively. Couldn't quite do the same to feed the movements of Nicholas Ambrosio. Challenge from Josh Risdon. The whistle, a swift one. No card forthcoming for the 289-time A-League veteran. Challenge is why Charlie Hollings, the young New South Wales referee, has just elected to give the former Perth Glory, Western Sydney and Western United man. He's got a thing for the West, Josh Risdon. A talking to rather than the game's first card. Little lifter from Lockie Roos. Cochrane losing dog in the 2v1 fight. Surprisingly errant from Chechlats, and Ambrosio left himself too much work to do. The talk of West Australia's struggles for NPL sides in the Cup. Northern New South Wales, only 4 wins all time and 22 defeats. This is a big chance. McFarlane loose enough for Steele to steal in. McCarla. No dice on the forward foray. Crowley. Crowley so revered these days for his exploits in Northern New South Wales. It's easy to forget that he did spend time, admittedly brief time, in the A-League with Newcastle Jets and Melbourne City. Hasn't played in the Australia Cup in quite some time as well, not since those days. So a goal in the national rounds would be quite the way to enhance his Northern New South Wales legacy. Cochrane. Really clever by Lundy. How good was that? And then Thompson turns around, turns the ball in. And those cheers will swiftly turn to jeers when they see the offside flag of Aranath Gobinath up. Take nothing away from the bits and pieces that preceded it. Really classy from Regan Lundy. Post finish from James Thompson. He's played over 120 games across no less than 9 years for Maitland. There's a touch of class from James the Jets. Quickly on the turn was Lundy. Hands in the back, but not sufficient to warrant a free kick. Frio on the move now. Chechlats. Ingel distributes to McCarla. Oh, half cross, half shots, half something to worry about for Taylor Pate. Should McCarla, one of a number out there tonight who does have an eye for the spectacular. Cracking goals in NPL WA, not New South Wales. This is stints with Perth Atzuri, formerly known as Perth Soccer Club, Guelph, and Balcatta. Nicely done by Ben Steele, who has been able to thwart the threats a little bit. Take power in recent times. Final minutes of the 45. Committed defending from Chad Nielsen. One of these teams tonight is going to get a first win on the national stage. Right now we're no closer to finding out which it will be. Gell heads away. It's a slightly careless pass that's handed it right back to Lundy, in the emphasis to the Magpies. McFarlane, Muddle, Angus Muddle, it took a touch and will roll out of play for a Maitland corner as we step into stoppage time. So an additional minutes to come in the first half in Maitland. Is it time enough for Maitland to score their first on the national stage? Corner towards the back post. Jessup went up. Fremantle have had the answer from set pieces. Muddle at full stretch. Balls down, Wingell. And the chance. The window of opportunity. Slammed shut by a solid tackle. And slammed shut the opening 45 of what has been a hotly contested fixture between Fremantle City and the home side, Maitland FC, on their return to the national rounds. The Cup newcomers have acquitted themselves nicely. The chances have been fairly few and far between. Both sides will be spurred on by the beckon of a first national round win in the second 45. All to play for in the round of 32 in Maitland. The halftime score, Maitland 0, Fremantle City 0.
Construction. The Mutual Bank. Thompson and Clark. The Sign Shop. Burton Automotive. Graham Law Soccer Clinic.
What are you doing?
We're planking.
It's because of our internet providers.
We're stuck in 2011.
Same slow internet speeds.
And high prices.
It's like a nightmare.
Enough planking. Superloop is a network purpose-built for the super-fast future of the internet. You are free.
Don't take it lying down, Australia. Refresh your internet.
here at Maitland Sports Ground. But after 45 minutes played, we still are no close to finding out which team it will be out of Maitland FC from Northern New South Wales and Fremantle City. It's been an entertaining affair so far. Both sides mostly limited to half chances, but pretty possession on display from both sides. Maitland start the lighter of the two sides, while Fremantle must a couple of efforts from outside the box. This one blocked by Scott Warrer. It's been a colossus in defence for Maitland so far. It was Maitland who laid claim to the biggest chance of the opening 45. Their club legend James Thompson turning the ball into the back of the net, but the offside flag would ultimately deny him the Magpies' first ever national round goal, much to the disappointment of the home crowd. Before time allowed for one final chance for Fremantle on the counter-attack. They were finding to be a happy avenue for them across the game. You can see the half-time stats do favour Maitland. They have just shaded the possession. They're doubling the shot count, but this one feels so far just as the pre-match form books would suggest. Well and truly up for grabs between two sides for whom tonight could mean so much. There's so much at stake. Across the rest of the evening, we're level here in northern New South Wales, as we are at a couple of the other games so far. The A-League v NPL ties have Tigers and the Wanderers level, along with Sydney United and Central Coast Mariners. Uni Azzurri, the Northern Territory side, trailing to MacArthur FC just 20 minutes into that fixture. So a four-game feast to enjoy. And the round of 32 continues on Sunday, and another big afternoon for Northern New South Wales awaits when the Western Bears welcome A-League opposition Melbourne City to Hunter Motor Group Stadium on Sunday. Kingborough Lions, the team from Tasmania, will make way for Melbourne victory in the Apple Isle. A Super Sunday of Australia Cup action that awaits. But here on Wednesday night, there is still so much to play for across the evening's action. And here at Maitland Sports Ground, it's the chance to progress to the round of 16 for the first time. It's there for the taking after the break.
The world's biggest teams are here. Incredible stuff!
Look at this atmosphere in here, it's unbelievable.
To face the best of the A-Leagues. All in one place.
That is champagne football.
The Winter Festival of Football starts July 26 on Paramount Plus.
The Cup returnees, Maitland FC, and the Cup newcomers, Fremantle City from West Australia. Two evenly matched NPL opponents in fine form have proved themselves to be a fairly even match so far. It's been hard to split them. The scoreline reflects that. And while it can be decided in the next 45, if it isn't, you know how the Cup works. We will head to 30 minutes and potentially penalties. High drama it could be in the first game of Fremantle City's Australia Cup journey. It's Fremantle, the visitors, who make the first change of this round of 32 clash. A bit of a surprising one. The top scorer for Fremantle this season, Chad Nielsen, has come off. He is replaced by 20-year-old Taj Bingwa as the second half gets underway. Will the next 45 minutes decide a round of 16 entrance in northern New South Wales? Will it be from northern New South Wales, or will the side from the west head home and journey 3,900 kilometres with an Australia Cup win in the back pocket? Maitland, you would argue, finished the first half the stronger. Welcome back if you did join us for it. Welcome to you for the first time if you're just joining us now. Did have a ball in the back of the net from James Thompson. Ruled out after the number 10 was found to be in an offside position. Crowley, captain, is the man that they will turn to as this game goes on. Fifth season of his second stint with Maitland. Scored 108 goals in the league since coming back to Cook Square Park. Quite remarkable tally as power breaks into open space, and Fremantle City conspire to clear through a combination of Wingell and Ben Steele. Power has proved himself to be a tricky customer so far. 20-year-old. Fremantle City looking to get on the move now. Ambrosio stood up by the towering presence of Scott Warra. Towered too monstrously for the liking of Charlie Hollings. Certainly a big unit, Scott Warra. Just his fourth game as a Maitland player. He's got clean sheets in 2 of his 3 games. No action for him as Woodcock sends it in. The little glance from Ambrosio. Would have counted for naught had it really troubled Taylor Pates. The ball found him in an offside position. Maitland's may not have enjoyed the fruits of their labour getting back to the Australia Cup on the pitch just yet. Their fans certainly have. Really good turnout, seated both in the grandstand and many along the hill, including the Maitland juniors, whose drum you can hear beating behind the goal. The Magpies are attacking in the second half. Side from West Australia's NPL did battle with a team from northern New South Wales. Did end the way of WA. Olympic Kingsway downing Edgeworth 4-1 back in the round of 32 in 2024. Incredibly, in 11 years of the Cup, it's the only time NPL Northern New South Wales and NPL WA have gone head-to-head. Maybe we should see it more often on the evidence of this game. McFarlane launches a really solid switch. Cut back for Muddle. Couldn't find the requisite finish to put to an end a sweeping Maitland move. Chechelats. Josh Risdon to Woodcock. Two ex-Glory teammates combining, and Woodcock continues his run cleverly. Brilliant barge from Tate Power.
Pick up him.
Bingwa, the substitutes. Ooh, he's to have toppled Tate Power there. That was a little cheeky. It's the Englishman Cameron Jessup to let him know what he thought of that. Card has been dished out from that for Charlie Hollings. You can make your own mind up at home as to whether that or not. That's the right call. Not the kind of impact you would hope from a substitute to get themselves in early card trouble. Ambrosio.
Well done.
Chalmers. Wingell upended by a two-footer from Tate Power. Plenty of the ball gotten. The son of the teenage star, Freo assistant coach Dale Wingell, up and moving in the technical area. Power again has nipped that one out. He's shown his sharpness at both ends of the park so far. What a lovely loft from Steele, but just took on too much speed as it came off the turf. Did get a really heavy watering before the game. So much so that water was actually flying off the early couple of passes in this game. No half-time watering, but still skidding along. It is a fairly firm surface here at Maitland Sports Ground. She's often used for the codes. A fair bit of league action is seen here. As the Newcastle Jets A-League women's side. Jets men played here in the Cup last year against Cooks Hill United, if memory serves. Great facility in the heart of Maitland. Even if it isn't the home comfort of Cook Square Park for the Magpies. Power. Powered away by Fester. Centre-back compatriot in Steele gets the extra meterage required, and Bingwa used his smarts to marshal it out of play for a Freo throw. Bingwa was the star of the show for Freo at the weekend. Goal and an assist in that 3-0 win against one of their current top four combatants in Perth Red Star. One of the others, Bayswater City, who will meet in the State Cup final. It's obviously down by Sydney FC yesterday. Cochrane muddle. Good to see that both sides' willingness to knock the ball around and be patient in their play, and Pretty with it, has continued into the second stanza. It's going to have some cut through eventually, though. Not afforded the luxury of contending themselves with a point, either of these, in the to take on to the later rounds of the season. It's do or die on the national stage. Jessup. Crowley. And it's top notch from Power. And Crowley. I don't think that was a shot. I think he was maybe trying to drill it to the feet of James Thompson. Haven't seen the best of Braden Crowley just yet. I think he sets himself very lofty standards. Scott Warra resume their battle. Will Maitland throw at the end of all of that? Crowley twisting and turning to try and wriggle clear of young Isaiah Wingell. McFarlane back to Crowley. It's a new combatant for him in Bingwa, and Bingwa has this beating. Bingwa's pass not his best. Comfortably judged by Lockie Roos, who does know what it takes to win. And win late in a tight game on the national stage. It's just past the reach of James Thompson. That could have been a moment indeed, but alertly judged by the three-time NPL WA goalkeeper of the year in Luke Radonic. Bit of a wake-up call perhaps for Fremantle City. Risdon has made a really good run. Chechlatz look to return the favour, but Warra, a warrior for the Magpies time and again this evening. Woodcock had to be fully committed to win it, and did. Nearby was McCalla, went back to Chechlatz, usually a good call. Risdon. McCalla, Risdon upended. Free kick coming for Fremantle. This is the reason why Josh Risdon, Reese was trying to make the shoulder-to-shoulder case, but was just behind where he needed to be to pull that off. We've got two quality set-piece takers have Fremantle in Riley Woodcock and Charlie Chechlatz. Looks as though Woodcock will be the player to take. And swing it in, he does, and the header is glanced wide of goal. It's a decent opportunity for Fremantle, and it would have been a special moment for Isaiah Wingell, the teenager. You have to imagine with set-piece placement like that from one of Woodcock or Chechlatz. Let's not forget, has 5 assists in NPL WA this season. I think that moments like that may present themselves for the West Australians. Steele and Power been with each other all evening. It's been one of the crucial player-to-player battlegrounds to watch tonight. This time Power has conceded the free kick. Just a little bit too much arm on Taj Bingwa. Fremantle City are going to make a second substitution of the game before Maitland have made one. Nicholas Ambrosio's fifth appearance on the national stage will come to an end. Replacing him, Michael Domfey, the mid-season signing for Fremantle, a former Golden Boot winner in NPLWA. And often the mid-season signings are cup-tied, but Domfey is not. So we'll explain why shortly. Bingwa looking for Makala. Domfey is last playing for Dandenong Thunder in NPL Victoria. Spent a few years there. Southeast of Western Australia. He wasn't playing for the last 6 months. He was FIFOing as an engineer. The coaching staff who had worked with him previously managed to bring him in. He scored on debut off the bench at the weekend. He would love to repeat the feat. Makala gets the head down, the cross, and he finds a white shirt of a Maitland Magpie. Nice touch and turn from Thompson. Could have set Maitland on their way, but for that little glance from Festa. It's given back to Thompson. It's a big challenge from Chalmers. And all legal in the eyes of Charlie Hollings. Very cool head from the 17-year-old Wingell. Muddle. Signs have had a really good chance to score now. Maitland, the most recent. Braden Crowley trying to make life difficult for Steele. Could do little more than that, the Magpies captain. What's running through the mind of Adam Hughes right now? Just having a word to one of his substitutes. Radonich and Steele will start Fremantle. Domfey tried to play the pass wide, but no one was home to receive. The American Richard Ruiz looks like he's going to be the man to come on first for Maitland. McFarlane. Muddle. Lundy has wriggled away. Muddle trying to up the shooting angle. Thompson! Oh, it's a top stop from Radonich. James Thompson with two major moments for Maitland. Neither converted as yet. It's been taken short. And blazed away. He didn't miss much from Tay Power. That replay showed you just how good a passing maneuver it was to feed the feet of James Thompson. 16 shots, but he's really the first serious save that Luke Radonich has had to make. He's going to have the fans on his back with ever-increasing ferocity as this game goes on. Had so much swerve on it from Josh Riston that it went out and curled back into play. 29th appearance in the Australia Cup for Josh Riston tonight. Only a handful of players can lay claim to more. Not quite the all-time Australia Cup appearance record. Andrew Redmayne has just taken that tonight with a 32nd Cup appearance. An outright leader now. In action against Sydney United for the Mariners. Cochrane. Expertly read by Riston, as you would expect. Woodcock has undone some of the previous good work and rather clumsily given away the free kick. Not that he's too fussed about it from the shrug of the shoulders. The weight of the pass was a bit behind from Shub Makala, and Cochrane upended in Woodcock's desperation to atone. Well, that's golden chance. The last opportunity of the evening for James Thompson. He did come back this year from a back injury and off-season surgery, so something that he still has to manage, not to be that fairy tale first goal for the favourite son for Maitland in the Cup. He's come closest. 24-year-old Richard Ruiz is on in his place. Interesting footballing journey, Richard Ruiz. US college football, as you would expect an American footballer to do. Prior to this, he was playing in the Championnat National, the semi-pro tiers of France. Tay Power. Held up nicely by Wingell. Has to head all the way home to Warra. Cochrane, Fester. Pinged it straight into the feet of Chalmers, who had to show a good touch and did. And again. Top class from the Scotsman. Technical acumen, not always the calling card of a Scottish footballer. Showed it in spades tonight, the former State Cup winner with Western Knights. Chechlats. Western wanted to be clever with the feint to feed Michael Domfey. Tay Power. Squirms his way inside. That was nearly ingenious from Regan Lundy, but now Fremantle are on the move through Riston. A big collision between Warra and the A-League veteran. It's the Fijian international who wins out. Really is quite remarkable what a difference these two new centre-backs have made for Maitland. To keep a clean sheet for 13 rounds. A test coming up here. Bingwa. Still got the substitutes fresh legs. Chechlats. Wheels around and finds no one waiting for him over the shoulder. So they will go back to patience until the Woodcock's early and slightly miscued delivery. Now it's fed to the feet of Crowley. This could be a moment for their star scorer. Forced to stop and prop by the Defensive work of Steele. Clearly did their homework. Maitland's main man. Might open up here for Lundy. A little chop is well read by Chalmers. Not for the first time tonight. Only 20 minutes to go in the 90. It's as up for grabs as it was from kickoff. Two teams who are in their best patch of form all year. For Fremantle, it's their best patch of form ever under Scott Miller. Only one can continue their winning ways and find their way to the round of 16. Corcoran. Ruiz. A little stab pass. Not able to reward the wheeling runners. Chechlats. There's open space and options. Not something you want to see for Maitland. McCarla. Can he be the man who finds the cross for them? No, Warra. Easy pickings for him. Fijian international. Fijian born, but moved at a young age to England and spent a number of years in the Stoke City Academy. Scott Warra. Crowley able to reel that one in. Pretty reverse pass for Power. Matched by the quality of the sliding tackle from Isaiah Wingell. Another corner coming though for Maitland. They've got this game more where they want it than Fremantle City at the present moment. Let me explain why. A double change is on the way for Freo, but more on that shortly. Angus Muddle goes flat. Ruiz with the little flick. And it fell into the lap of Wingell. Ball into the box, a good one. Whoa! The Magpies have liftoff on the national stage. The first round of 32 goal falls the way of the Fijian flyer Scott Warra. And for the first time in their history, the Maitland Magpies know how good it feels to score in the Australia Cup. The second phase did the difference. McFarlane's ball, an absolute beauty. And Scott Warra, the Fijian international who's already opened his accounts in his second game as a Maitland player, has doubled his money on the national stage. And now 18 minutes await. And stand between the Magpies and the round of 16. Fremantle City are not done. They've played a couple of additional cards off the bench, and a quality one in the experienced A-League talent of Cameron Edwards, who's come on alongside Lucas Rossi, and who's only scored once this season, but has come up with crucially important goals for Freo in the past. You're going to need to find one here with 17 minutes to play. On trail. Cameron Edwards, son of the former Perth Glory coach, Alistair Edwards, has come on alongside Lucas Rossi. Those important goals for Rossi, the two goals that rescued Fremantle City from relegation in the final Pro-Rel playoff game against Joondalup City. last year. Chechlines has been fouled so hard that he's lost a boot. The boots have been a problem for the Fremantle City players tonight. We saw George Fester in the first half lose the studs from his boot, had to get a replacement. Good news for Fremantle City is they have had their fair share of incredible comebacks this year. Late goals as well. But Maitland are looking to double their money. And Crowley wheels back. Ruiz goes down. Angus Muddle. Couldn't extend the tally for Maitland. It feels like a game where a 2-goal margin would make all the difference. Muddle could not find it. Just feels as though Maitland, as this game has come to a close, been able to find gears that as yet Fremantle City have not been able to match. They waited 6 years, Northern New South Wales NPL teams, for a national round win. Domfey offside. The Redruth Eagles win against Darwin Olympic in 2019. Took until Cooks Hill in South Australia last year. Cookers to claim a first win in 6 years. The Northern New South Wales NPL could go back to back. But Freo will throw everything at this. They don't want to leave the Australia Cup without something to show. Great challenge from Fester. Still going to be coming there though. Lundy, Muddle. Oh! So close for Tate Power, who just lifts the ball over the bar. An agonizing one for those fans watching behind, as the 20-year-old could have wrapped it up, or gone close to. It's almost the case of too many cooks in the kitchen. Power wanted to be the hero. Muddle was looking for the goal scorer. Domfey has flown in. And it's the substitute striker who will become the first player of this evening in the book. First card about which there wasn't too much of a defence case to mount. Muddle and Lundy ready to send those junior fans into raptures if they can find a teammate. Muddle, it's a tantalising ball, it's loose in the area. Crowley couldn't stick it home. Roos wheels away. Does the second phase deliver for them again? Not yet. A third crack perhaps. Regan Lundy. Muddle. Warriors stayed forward. Crowley was lurking, neither sought out by the cross. It's getting close now for this 1,000-strong crowd. Who were outgunned, outforced, outclassed against an A-League opponent here in 2019. Couldn't lay a glove on the Mariners after Michael McGlinchey's double. They are 10 minutes from the promised land. We're going to get another set piece here. A stinger from George Fester. Looked as though he was going to escape a booking after bringing down Regan Lundy. Is that still going to be the case? The answer is yes, but body language suggested that that was a That was your last. Be careful kind of warning from Charlie Hollins. Lundy is looking all good, so that's a positive sign for Maitland. Still searching for the second. Muddle. Leading away by Woodcock. Corcoran. Warra Crowley! Oh, that was his moment. That was the time for Maitland star scorer to step up on the national stage to seal it. Oh, and you would just put your house on him scoring a chance like that. But it wasn't to be for Braden. But Freo City are hanging on with 10 minutes to play. They need to muster something. Wingel's ball gives way beneath the feet of a couple of Fremantle City attackers. They did not get a chance to train and acclimatise to the pitch since arriving here yesterday. They trained at the Northern New South Wales NTC. Maitland, however, have had the opportunity to train on the sports ground. Maybe that's informed the stud selection. Woodcock. Risdon. Josh Risdon can only find the outstretched leg of Lockie Roos.
Ruiz, for your numbers. Send the zone there.
Other Northern New South Wales v West Australia meeting in the Australia Cup happened 2 years ago when Kingsway cleaned out the Edgeworth Eagles. Is this going to be a measure of state revenge for Maitland City? Will Freo have potentially a final say in the 90? Strap in if you're watching on at home. There's more drama to come in the 9 minutes that remain. And every cup game this evening has got a goal now. The A-League sides are looking all on course to avoid the cup set. Jessup. Ruiz. Every Maitland player has to think really carefully about the decisions they make on the ball now. Crowley's decision to stop and prop and set his back into Wingell was a good call. Oh, he hasn't got his goal tonight, Braden Crowley. He usually does, but it's been for a lack of trying. Still be thinking about that earlier one. Power. Lundy. Twisting and turning and nutmegging Cam Edwards. Maitland have got the hot hand at the moment. Power. Couldn't find it in the second phase, and in his youthful exuberance, brought down the experienced head of Cam Edwards. Fremantle nearly got things moving quickly through Rossi. Two substitutes available for either side. The onus is on the side from West Australia. Chechlats. What a brilliant switch. Rossi, the little dink. Risdon lifts it. Bingwa was there. And we'll claim a corner for City, a much needed one, ahead of the arrival of the Kazakh striker who was about to come on, Ilyas Akhmedov. This was pretty play from Fremantle. An ingenious lift in the Bingwa direction from Risdon, but top-notch defending from McFarlane to deny him. Woodcock. Can the A-League man conjure quality? Ruiz up to the task at the front stick. Is it twice the charm for Woodcock? No. Ruiz equal to it again. And every intervention they make, valuable second slip away. And the secondary stoppage. Signal a kitchen sink change from Scott Miller, the fullback who's played very well tonight in Isaiah Wingell. Will departs. And Ilyas Akmanov, the 33-year-old Kazakh-born Swedish citizen, will make his way onto the field. Woodcock gets to the byline. Jessup repel almost every cross today. They're going to have to repel a few more. It's brought down at the back post. What's the decision? Goal kick for Maitland. Will now make counter-pressing change of their own. It was a nice leap from Cam Edwards at the back post. Try and make something of that. Tay Power. Oil and rest. The speedster. Matt Smale comes on. It's two players with youth experience either side of the F3 Derby divide who have just exchanged. Matt Smale, previously of the Central Coast Mariners youth ranks and Central Coast United. Fremantle are starting to show something here. Domfey. Risdon was riding challenges. Fester flew in. Muddle came up with it. This one is not over at all. Domfey helps it on its way. Warra, heroic. He's been absolutely top draw tonight. Steals delivery. He's there again, the Fijian flyer. And Lundy to the turf. Gets the response that the home side, the home fans so desperately want. A free kick, valuable seconds chewed away. 3 minutes and stoppage to come at Maitland Sports Ground. Fremantle City is starting to go for it now. Akmanov has gone a little too hard and not quite legal enough. Force the stoppage. Mentioned his interesting heritage. He did spend 7 years in the Swedish lower tiers, including stints in Spain and Gibraltar before winding up in Western Australia. He was playing in the second tier last year, State League. Bingwa trying to put Smale, the substitute, under the cosh. Risdon, can his A-League quality prove telling late on? Starting to launch himself forward. Bingwa, Domfey! The super sub delivers again. Fremantle City level with their first Australia Cup goal. And this round of 32 tie may well be going to extra time. As they have done so often this season, Freo find a way in the late knockings. Michael Domfey has played less than an hour in total for Freo since signing, and he scored twice. And they have been pushing and pushing, and they found their way. The ball from Bingwa out wide was just brilliant. It hung in the air, and Warra and Jessup, they've had the answer all night, but they were no match for Michael Domfey. And this tie that threatened to turn into an entertaining one for so long has done it late on. And now we may get more football. Domfe signed for Fremantle City. He was interviewed about why he joined the club. Having taken a 6-month absence from football, so it's a good time to be in Fremantle. Freo, the Dockers at the upper reaches of the ladder. It is a very good time to be in Fremantle indeed for Michael Domfe and Akhmedov! Oh my goodness! It's a Fremantle fairy tale on their round of 32 debut. The man from Kazakhstan has come up with a piece of magic to send the Cup newcomers potentially to the round of 16. Well, it's their first time in the Australia Cup. They have understood the assignment and then some. The loose ball dropped to Akhmedov, and it was cunning. It was clever. So much guile on that finish. And from the back foot, from nearly 2-0 down, from inches away, now it's Fremantle City incredibly in the ascendancy as we step into 6 minutes of stoppage time. What a tie this has been. Forget your A-League v NPL battles. This is where it's at between Maitland and Fremantle City. What did Maitland do in stoppage time? They have set themselves to defend a lead, and they've lost it. It was something that they were really struggling with early in the season. The arrivals of Cameron Jessup and Scott Warren to that defence has changed that. And then the substitutes from Scott Miller have changed everything. 2 attackers have scored. Fremantle, Maitland, who thought they were going to the round of 16, are now fighting to stay in the cup altogether. Liston with the roost. Akhmedov. Ruiz. Maitland have not given up the ghost. Smale. Numbers in the box for him to aim at. Won't get the chance. Shechlai stood tall.
It doesn't matter, Taj. What's next matters.
Ruiz. Crowley. Back to Ruiz. It shifted wide for Angus Muddle. Repelled emphatically. Corcoran gets the head down. Can he pick out a teammate? Edwards at full stretch. Clears. 3 minutes to go. The stoppage time equaliser will lift the roof off at Maitland Sports Ground. The full-time whistle. Send small Fremantle contingent into raptures. It was 2 minutes between the equaliser and the go-ahead, and there were 2 goals of top quality. Double sub as Maitland go chasing in stoppage time. Jaden Ritchie, 17-year-old youngster, has come on alongside Connor Butchard. This Muddle, one of the 2 who departs, a well-earned rest for him. It'll be a nervous wait watching on from the sidelines now. Domfe clears away. This club that only came to life through a merger from Fremantle United and East Fremantle Tricolore in 2015 are about to take a grip of more than likely, short of their inaugural promotion to top flight, the biggest night in their history. in the most Freo City fashion possible. Now watch that one go out for a goal kick. This is what they have done so often this season, Fremantle City. They are not a team to whom you pronounce dead. 3-0 down in one game away to Bayswater at Frank Drago Reserve. You wouldn't guess the scoreline at full time, 3-all. This is an even better turnaround. Nearly there now. Chance perhaps for one last opportunity for either side, and Akhmedov was coming back from an offside position, so Maitland will get themselves a set piece. Pate pumps it upfield. The flick on stopped in its tracks. Warra. McFarlane. These are crucial final touches for Fremantle. And desperation station for the Magpies. Is it to be the ultimate round of 32 heartbreak on their national round return? Smail, Bingwa. Akhmedov has come up with it. They could kill it here, Fremantle. Michael Domfey, he's not going to concern himself with sealing it with the third. He's going to head into the corner. Chechlatz. It's the final minutes, but they've afforded it back to Maitland. It's all on this, do or die in this push for the Magpies. It all has to go right from here. Smail looking for Crowley, headed away by Steele. That will do it! Welcome to the Australia Cup, Fremantle City. This is what it's all about. It is a Fremantle fairy tale on their Australia Cup debut. From 1-0 down with 2 minutes of regulation to play, Michael Domfey and Ilyas Akhmedov sealed a City comeback for the Ages. And West Australia's last remaining representative in the Cup are going through to the round of 16 at the first time of asking. What's a special, special occasion. You can almost hear the roar of the celebrations from 3,900 kilometres away in Freo. It was a game that bubbled away with chances and ultimately did deliver in style. It didn't look likely to begin with. It was Maitland who took the lead. A towering header from Scott Warra sent the Maitland Magpies fans into absolute raptures. And they went so close to scoring a second through Braden Crowley. They didn't. And then Fremantle City unleashed the late show. Michael Domfey steering the ball home in the 88th minute from a looping ball from Taj Bingwa. One goal on the national stage was good enough. Incredibly, it got even better for the Cup newcomers. Ilyas Akhmedov popping up as stoppage time approached with a piece of ingenuity to get it over Taylor Pate. And that celebration says it all about why we do this Cup thing. A night this fledgling club will never forget, and Maitland's will never be able to forget what they left on the table tonight. They did have more of the possession. They were the better side in the second half. They edged the shot count, but they did not take their chances. The Open goal opportunity for Braden Crowley. He's the heartbreaker for them, upon which they will left to be lingering on as their journey in the Cup comes to an end at the round of 32 once again. Well, it is the late show, the late drama. Across the Cup, Sydney United have just equalised at Adenza Park in the 90th minute, so extra time could await there. It was far more comfortable for the Wanderers. It's looking more comfortable for MacArthur, who lead Azzurri United in the Northern Territory. We got it done in the 90 here, but that 2-1 scoreline does not tell the full story of a special Cup clash in New South Wales' north. And it means that the last Northern New South Wales NPL rep, Western Bears, have got it all to do at the Hunter City Motor Group Stadium on Sunday when they welcome the former Cup winners, Melbourne City, on Sunday. And it's the other side of the Melbourne Derby divide, Victory, who make the trip to Tasmania to take on Kingborough Lions in the late game. Well, this has been a special night of Australia Cup football. We hope if you're watching on, you have enjoyed it. It would be hard not to after a match like that. It ends tonight, but it will stay in the memory of Fremantle City for a very long time. They are through to the round of 16 on their National Cup debut.